What's up, everybody? This morning, we've got a huge live stream because the UFC and card collectors alike are absolutely buzzing right now. Khamzat picked up another win, man, and he's the champ. But are his cards already at their peak? And with that, like, lackluster, boring, hugging, we've been seeing a lot of that online already. Because of that, will we see some backlash with his cards? Or are they going to still go higher, right? A lot to talk about today. Plus, the 2025 Topps Midnight Market is in chaos, man. And it is directly because of Topps that we still have no odds. We don't have clarity on the SSPs. And collectors are scrambling to figure out, like, what are these cards really worth? How rare are these SSPs? And which ones are the ones that we should be collecting long term? Plus, we'll look at Carlos Protes. We'll look at Lerone Murphy cards, who are probably really the real big winners from last night's event. We'll do some prospect talk, and I even have like a Topps redemption story from Topps Sapphire edition that I turned in that came back really quick. So we're going to talk about that. It's going to be a fun episode, and everybody hit me up in the comments. How are y'all doing this today? Where y'all at? Let's see if we can get to 35 likes this stream. So hit that button, hit that like button, and support the channel, man. Let's see if we got anybody watching, and then we will get into the first little segment here and talk about last night's event. All right, let's check the chat. We got Objecto. What's up, dude? Khamzat card collection is safe for another day, but man, what a super villain he is. Dude, the facial expressions of Khamzat Chimaev, he has an interesting face, right? Like, say what you want about the fight last night. The pre-fight faces, maybe some of the best faces we have ever seen in the history of the UFC. This guy, dude, his face was just insane last night. He really is like a super villain straight out of a movie, man. It was hilarious to see, some of his crazy eyes and his little like pre-fight stare. But what's up, Objecto? Good to have you in the house today, man. Let's see, Matty back. But now fascinating results. KO back fits, Nerds running wild, DDP Borz is champ, LFG. What up, Matty Mac? Thanks for messaging in here, dude. Hopefully see you soon. Kitty Sniper, that's a new name. Yo, what's up, man? I don't think I recognize that name, but good to have you in the house, dude. Down with that. Australia, 2 a.m. My man is dedicated, dude. What's up, man? Thanks for coming into the stream today. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. And first off, I want to talk about this. And it is what I think is pretty ridiculous and hopefully something that will go away with the new Paramount deal and maybe the new structure and organization of the UFC, maybe some fighter pay. But let's talk about this from Dana White.
Grossing event in the arena's history. Fight of the night, Elliot, Lerone, Carlos, and Khamzat, they all won $50,000.
You're telling me Khamzat won fight of the night last night with him and DDP? That's crazy to me. Now, I'm not trying to be a Khamzat hater. He did what he needed to do. This is the first time I've ever seen him fight smart and actually use what he's best at to win a fight. He's always goaded into firefights, and that he doesn't necessarily do well with that. But for Khamzat to get fight of the night for this performance is absolutely insane. There is zero reason that fight should have been fight of the night. Never. I have no idea why Dana White decided to do this. Is it damage control? Is it PR? Is he trying to shift the narrative away from, what a lot of people are saying, which we'll talk about here in a second? The hugging, didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. No damage. Dana White, how are you giving Khamzat fight of the night? Also, why are we still giving fight of the night bonuses? Like, can we just pay these guys a flat rate of what they're worth and then move on from there? But speaking of like people being kind of upset, I guess, with it, let's look at some of these from Twitter. And I don't have Twitter, but this was sent in a little thread that I'm in. A lot of people do not like this. Worst fight I've ever seen. UFC's finished. Sport is over. This is boring. Won't last long with Chimaev. Get some actually entertaining fighters. This is boring. BS. Most boring sport. Ruined the 185 division. And let's be honest here. Let's be realistic here. This is a one-off for Khamzat Chimaev. Let me back my boy. Let me back my boy Khamzat here. He has never fought like this before. Let's take a look. Again, we're screen sharing a lot early in this episode, man. We are screen sharing a lot. Let's take a look at some of his fights. Rice McKee, TKO. John Phillips, finish. Jared Mearshart, insane fight, finish. Li Jingliang, insane fight, finish. Gilbert Burns, absolute dog fight, incredible fight. Kevin Holland, finish. Usman, incredible fight. Whitaker, finish, incredible fight. And we finally have a stinker with DDP. So I say all that to say, like, the UFC fans are fickle as always, right? And was that a not the most entertaining fight? Was it like boring? I definitely would be fine with that sentiment if that is your sentiment. I totally understand. The problem, I think, was that he was not doing damage, right? And let's take a look at this, and then we'll get back to the screen share. So we have, and I've been seeing a lot of the striking stats get thrown around, right? But we have to, you got to really watch the tape in order to get the whole tale. But this is, I think, does a good picture of telling us what the striking stats actually mean. Okay, so up here we have Khamzat Chimaev. This is the stat that's floating around, right? 529 versus 45 total strikes. But when we look at significant strikes, 37 to 13 significant strikes. And I went ahead and did the math. 93% of the strikes that Khamzat Chimaev threw last night were insignificant. Now, tons of this had him in the crucifix. Incredible control time, right? Like 21 minutes of control time. 21 minutes of control time. That is absolutely insane. But 93% of the strikes were insignificant. So definitely, not something that we're used to seeing from Khamzat Chimaev. He's usually going out there. He's a wild man. But I was very impressed by him actually being able to stay locked in, stick to a game plan, and utilize what he is best at, which is grappling, which is wrestling. Now, when I do say that, I do think that he does need to be a little bit more active, right? And a reason I don't think he could be is because he is now at 185, and he finally fought a 185er that is a legitimate hoss, right? Like DDP is a hoss. And anytime Khamzat Chimaev was trying to get something off on him with the control, as soon as he lifted his hips off and shifted his weight to try and get a big shot in, DDP was wriggling and writhing like a worm trying to get off the ground. And I think we could see a little bit more of that style where Khamzat is going to have to really just be a control guy, and he does not want to get into the firefight on the stand-up. But I, for one, am happy Khamzat Chimaev got the dub. I thought DDP would win, but it's good for cards, it's good for storylines, and it's kind of sad to see the UFC fandom upset and turn on him that quickly. But that's how it goes, dude. These people out here are ruthless. All right, let's get back to the chat. Let's see. We got Vince in the house. What up, dude? How you doing, man? Having fun with this live. Getting going. What's up, dude? Manny's in the house. Great card. Yeah, I mean, the two spinning back fists back to back, or two spinning elbows back to back was insane, man. It was absolutely insane. Buckeye Breaks. What up, dude? Box Alarm. What's up, man? Hopefully you enjoyed the fights last night. Khamzat is the new Marab. See, like, it's his only time doing that. I don't think you can say that. I don't think that's fair at all to Khamzat. Now, I understand the sentiment. I understand why you want to say that. It was a control performance. There was very little damage. I mean, he did have him in a crucifix for a long time, and it looked like he could have just rained elbows down. But I understand control always before you try and go for a finish. Backdoor deal for him to fight straight away at Abu Dhabi. I guess you're talking about the fight of the night performance. Yeah, good point here by Down with that. Didn't want to blow himself out of it, throwing hard, and then not finish the fight and be exhausted. That is true. We also have to admit that Khamzat Chimaev, his gas tank looked pretty good. That was 5 rounds. Now, granted, he was in his element, right? He was in his element. He was control. He was wrestling. He wasn't striking, which when we've seen him really get tired and gas, it has been in the striking scenario. So definitely fair to say that. And Manny, I felt that what Khamzat did last night was impressive. Followed the game plan and dominated DDP. All that was missing was the finale, but credit for never quitting and surviving. Yeah, man. We also have to think of how good DDP did, right? Like, did he get controlled? Absolutely. But he survived. He didn't get finished. 5 rounds. He was fighting hard. And it even looked like he was surging there at the end. He just needed to really stuff a few more takedowns, man. And he just couldn't do it. Khamzat was on his legs super quick. Couldn't get it done. All right, let's talk about some cards. Let's talk about cards. We're going to hop over to cards real quick. And we're going to talk about, can Khamzat Chimaev's cards go up any more than they already have? I mean, we're talking about one of the biggest sellers, right, in the UFC card space. Khamzat Chimaev has absolute monsters up and down his sale list. 30,000, 20,000. We had one earlier this year that was 20,000 plus that wasn't on here. Ton of 10,000 plus. Even some recent, massive cards around 10 grand. Multiple. I mean, look at this, just all the way down for $5,000 and up, which is huge, right, in our space. And my question is like, with that performance, I think we might see another instance where when someone becomes a champion, their card prices may actually go down, which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all, right? But when you have this much hype going into an event, when you have this much hype on a specific fighter and, just this much money pooled into his cards, you really have like long-term GOAT status, super exciting champion baked into his card prices. And I think it is going to be kind of tough for that performance and really anything he can do to really shift his card pricing up in a positive trajectory. I mean, we saw, right? Like, people are already up. I mean, the MMA fans are always upset about something, right? But people are already calling, lackluster, boring. I don't like it. They're already kind of turning on him because of that performance last night. So my question is, like, while I do think that this does help solidify him long term by getting a championship, I don't know if it necessarily helps his card pricing in the short term. I think he is definitely going to have to get an exciting win next. And I think if he does kind of a similar performance like this, we may see even more people turn on him and kind of have him play the villain card, because people are not going to like a performance like that when he had only, 93% of his strikes were insignificant, whatever that means. But definitely an interesting thing to think about when you're talking about Khamzat Chimaev. And what are y'all's thoughts out there? Please let me know in the chat. And also, if you're watching and you haven't, hit that like button, dude. Let's see if we can get to 35 this like. Going back to the chat here. Buckeye Breaks got himself a GSP E-Tops. Yes, sir. You see the E-Top set right here. I think that's going to be a really nice set long term. Really good cards. Very, very pretty, man. Like, you can see the refraction in here. I think they all display well too because they're vertical. So it can't go wrong with getting up one of those, dude. Oh, this is a great question, Manny. Did anyone notice the debut patch on Susurkaev's shirt? We'll talk about him in a little bit. Also, did Pico also carry a debut patch? I had the exact same thought, man. I had the exact same thought after he had that big performance, and I didn't notice it in the broadcast, but I very much hope that he did, because he is going to be a very exciting guy, man. So we'll talk about him right now. And we're talking about also incredibly tough name to pronounce, right? I mean, we get another guy, Baisangur Susurkaev, another extremely difficult name to pronounce, but he had a really good performance, man. Pretty well rounded. It was a dogfight too. Like, he did not get an easy fight with Nolan, and they actually both got signed to the UFC. So shout out to Nolan too. They put on a really good performance. He ended up getting the finish. And pretty good on the mic. He's Khamzat Chimaev's buddy, I believe. They train together. He's from Chechnya. Only 24 years old. Only 24 years old. A lot of these guys are getting super young, man. I feel like we're finally starting to see some of the kids who have been training MMA, since they were kids, kind of get in here. For the longest time, it was, wrestlers, Muay Thai guys, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys. Now we're seeing the kids that have been training MMA kind of come into the league, which is very interesting to see. Also, he is very big for the weight class as far as reach goes. 79-inch reach, 6'2", pretty good height and frame for the weight class. Looked pretty solid too. Good kickboxing, obviously good wrestling. He was able to get the submission. He weathered the storm as well. So Baisangur Susurkaev, say that 15 times quick, right? But pretty good performance there with him. And interesting to see what happens in this 185 division now. Like, we have, Kyle Bohayo in the crowd. We have Fluffy Hernandez in the crowd. We have RDR in the mix. We also have Imavov, who's going to be fighting Kyle. What do we see next? And 185 is kind of banging right now, man. We got a lot of good people in the mix. Let's not forget about Izzy. Who knows what Izzy's going to do? Even if he loses again, he's a big name, right? And it's a fun guy that a lot of people will probably enjoy watching. We got Sean Strickland still in the mix. So we finally have some good stacked guys up at the top of the 185 division. And I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but personally, I'm excited about this division and to see what happens in the future with these guys. All right, let's get back to the chat. Kitty Sniper, I think Kyle will handle him. it's an interesting matchup, man. If you're okay, so when we're talking about Khamzat Chimaev, right? We have to have somebody who is extremely competent on the ground. The three people that come to my mind that would potentially be a good matchup for Khamzat because of his wrestling: RDR, Kyle, like you mentioned, and Fluffy Hernandez. Those are the three guys that I think could potentially have the grappling skill to somewhat negate his insane wrestling. Now, will they be strong enough? And will they have the skill to negate it? That's who knows, right? We're going to have to see that actually happen. But Kyle and RDR are massive, absolutely massive for the weight class. That definitely helps being a little bit more physical for Khamzat whenever he's trying to wrestle and grapple. We also know Fluffy Hernandez has an insane gas tank, and he likes to wrestle and is really good too. But he does seem to be a little bit undersized. Fluffy Hernandez does seem to be a little bit undersized. But after watching him ragdoll Dolidze all across the cage, I don't know if I could ever bet against that guy. I don't know what he was on mentally in that fight with Dolidze, but he looked like he could beat anybody Fluffy Hernandez did when he fought him in that fight night. Let's see. Down with that. Him and De Reader, knees to gut before wrestle could be his kryptonite. Dude, De Reader does have a nasty knee game, man. He does that step in rear knee, just full tilt, full throttle, absolutely crushes people. He crushed Bo with it. He hit Whitaker with it like a bunch of times too. That definitely is one of his best weapons, and you can tell he really enjoys throwing that technique, as well as while De Reader is, very unconventional, very unorthodox, and honestly not a great striker, his jab is really good. And when he was fighting Whitaker, I was yelling at the screen, throw the jab. You're 6'4". He has a good jab. He cracks people with it. It would definitely be interesting to see RDR versus Khamzat. Again, we have no idea what happens, man. We got a lot of players in the mix, but definitely a guy that could, match up with him in the future. And that I think would be a really entertaining matchup as well. Let's see. All right, we'll go into the next topic. And the next topic that I really wanted to talk about was Midnight, dude. Was Tops Midnight. And man, it's difficult for me to kind of say this, but like what kind of effect does not having the odds have on card sales? I mean, we didn't have odds the entire Panini run, right? So like we know we can get big sales, we know we can get mega sales, we know we can get SSPs that last the test of time and that do big sales, but I think it's hurting card sales immensely right now, man, especially with a product like Midnight that has multiple SSPs. They told us we have 3 this year, right? We have Night Vision was an SSP, Twilight obviously is an SSP, and then I believe Greetings From was the 3rd. I don't have the list in front of me, but we have no idea how rare these are, and we have no idea how to price them. I will say, if you're going to get a Midnight card, man, if you're going to get any card from Midnight, I think the Twilight is the one to get. They are selling like hotcakes once again. They sold amazing last year. We had massive $30,000 Poton sale. We've got, sales 500 plus all over the place with these Twilight cards. And I think those are the ones to get. If I was going to get anything and put my stamp on what I think will last long term from Midnight, I do think it is the Twilight, and we have the sales to prove it. So let's go over here and we'll talk about some big midnight sales, and then we'll talk about why the SSPs aren't selling and kind of show some evidence for that as well. So we got a massive Josh Van card, right? Just 3K, just a stud card, 3K, and it's a 101 RPA Josh Van. Like, this is a very big card, and honestly, I think it's a pretty good buy for whoever got this. Hopefully the fit and finish is solid, but like a 101 RPA for $3,000, a guy that's 23 years old, already in a title fight, that's pretty exciting. And so far the biggest sale from Twilight that has been recorded, or Midnight that has been recorded. And next up we got the Twilight, right? And again, you're gonna see a ton of these in the top sales. Like, people like these. I think it's a pretty good design. I think it will age well. We also have the numbered ones, which people are going crazy for. And like, here you have a base. This is a base Twilight from Poton, and it's selling for $750, man. So like, these are moving, and they are moving well. So again, I think if you're gonna get something from Twilight or from Midnight, I don't think you can go wrong with the Twilights. Again, look, we're just going all the way down, like bang, bang, bang. They're everywhere, right? They are everywhere, and this is the card that people want. So I think we could kind of have a situation almost like the Kaboom, like the Color Blast, where like this is gonna be one of the inserts that lasts the test of time. This is going to be one that people are always going to find valuable and that could really have some collectability long term. Again, it's only been 2 years, right? It's only been 2 years of Midnight, but I think there is enough sales demand and enough sales volume to kind of see the tea leaves, read the tea leaves, if you will, that this is going to be a very collectible card and people are really going to like this. All right, let's get back to the chat. What do we got? Also, if you're watching and you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that like button. All right, let's see. Here we go. I think Khamzat has too much experience in wrestling. Khamzat will not lose good position to go for a finish. I completely agree, man. And see, this again, we're talking about, you know, how the fight was boring, blah, blah, blah. This has always been my biggest knock on Khamzat Chimaev. It's right here. His IQ is always, you would watch him fight and you could just see him say like, nope, we're brawling right now. And he would get angry and he would get frustrated almost with his opponent and just try and get like bloodlust and just go crazy. And that is not a smart way to fight. And last night, while it was not the most exciting fight, he actually fought a smart fight, stuck to the game plan and was able to, you know, control and keep the fight where he had the biggest advantage. He had the biggest advantage in grappling. It was obvious he could do that all night, and he did. So props to Khamzat for at least, you know, implementing a game plan. And it did look like, to me, he improved in that aspect a ton, right? To me, it looked like he improved a ton for it. Okay, back to Midnight, back to cards. We have 3 SSPs in this product, right? We have no odds associated with these SSPs. How rare are these? No one knows. Topps won't tell us. Also, go email them, man. Email Topps, tell them we need the odds and this is ridiculous. I emailed them probably a week or two ago and somebody actually got back to me and they actually did say like, sorry, we're working on it. We hear you. So they do read that. And if enough of us email them and say this is ridiculous, send us the odds, maybe they will finally post them and maybe they won't make this mistake again because we also still don't have them for Topps Chrome Sapphire, which is even more ridiculous. That's been out, you know, like a month now or whatever. But let's look at some of these sales from the SSPs. And this is why I think it's a problem, man. This is why I think the odds are really having an impact on the sales because, as you can see, Dream Chasers was a big insert last year and was a big hit. They aren't selling for nothing right now. And you could say, like, it's because the design looks like this, which would be fair. I don't know what kind of font they're going with, man. I kind of like the Dream Staircase doorway design, but that font is just absolutely ridiculous, right? So you definitely would be fair to say maybe it's the design and not necessarily the card or the odds, and I think that would be a fair statement. But we have 4 sales. We have 5 sales if you take the space out, because I checked that too. And only one of them is above $100. So people do not like the Dream Chasers, man. And it's not helping that we have no odds for this, right? It is not helping at all that we have no idea how rare these are. Now let's say this Umar, right? Let's say it takes 6 cases to hit this, right? Let's say it takes 6 cases to hit this. If you bought that for $60, that's a steal. If that is actually the odds and it takes 6 cases, which I'm totally guessing, right? Then that is a steal. And I totally just make that argument to say, even a design that's not great at a certain rarity, it is going to be worth something, right? And right now we have no idea what that rarity is. We have no idea what that rarity is, dude. Let's check this one out as well. We have the Night Vision. And this one's selling a little bit more, right? We actually have 2 sales above 200. But again, this is another SSP. How rare is it? We don't know. We have no idea. This is of 5, and of 5 selling for 200. And personally, I actually think these cards look decent. Now, that's totally opinion-based, right? I think that this is kind of a fun design. I like the symmetry here. I like the little framing of the face with the moon, the font, you know, kind of military-ish. I think it's not a bad-looking design. But again, we have no idea how rare these are. If this is an actual case hit, right? And in every case you get one of these, I feel like they're selling for what they should. But like is the case with Midnight, last year, multiple of these cards were like cases and cases to hit. So again, the odds are just really doing a disservice. And in my opinion, it is a crisis. It is a level 5 crisis on these Midnight inserts, man, and it is a terrible disservice to them. And I am upset still that Topps has not given us the odds, and to go and email them and tell them that we need these odds, dude. We need these odds. Lastly, before I get back to the chat, let's look at the greetings from, which is again supposed to be a SSP. And I had people hitting me up saying, they're watching breaks and whatnot. And thank you if you guys ever give me information off of whatnot breaks early on in the product, because I don't frequent whatnot very often. I do watch sometimes, but to get y'all's information on how rare things is, and especially in a case like this where we don't know the odds, is very helpful. People were saying these are very rare. Man. And we have a rookie case hit, whatever that means. This could be 10 cases to hit for $126 of Peyton Talbot. And again, I understand. To me, this design is not very compelling. It's not a great design. 303 is I believe the event that they took the image from is I think what they're doing here with these. But dude, just not selling well at all for a case hit, whatever that means. Topps, give us the odds. But again, dude, I think it is a crisis personally that we are getting killed right now on some of these case hit inserts because they will not release the odds. And let's get back to the chat and see what y'all are talking about. Let's see. Ooh, we got some Stadium Club talk. You're going to stock up on Stadium Club? I freaking love when we get a debut product, bro. I am going to try and get two. I'm going to just try and get two Stadium Club. I'm going to get, I don't know if y'all can see. Can you see it over? I don't think you can see it on the screen. I got my Topps Chrome Sapphire up there on the shelf. And I might do the same thing with Stadium Club, man. I have an interesting theory that I think that some of these debut products will age well over time. I want to try and hold them for, 2 or 3 years, see what happens. Maybe I can flip the boxes. Or if they become insane, maybe I break the box. Maybe we can hit something big. We'll see what happens. But personally, I am very excited about Topps Stadium Club. So far, of all the leaks I've seen, that piques my interest the most. That makes me the most excited to see Topps Stadium Club. I think we have a good mix of photography. We have a good mix of on-card autos again. I'm ragging on Topps because they haven't released the odds. But, bro, they are bringing the heat when it comes to these autos. I mean, every single product we've got on-card autos. Just recently, with Panini, we had one product in Immaculate that had on-card autos, and even in that, we had a ton of stickers. So, they are definitely doing a good job with the on-card autos. And obviously, you can have some pushback on that, saying card quality, scuffs for grading, blah, blah, blah. But to me, that is pretty legit. And but yeah, I am definitely excited for Stadium Club. What up, Rewind? Do we have a release date? Not that I have seen. Now, I haven't checked it in a few days, but I do frequent that, and I look at it quite a bit. I have not seen a release date for Stadium Club, but trust when we do get a release date, I will be hitting you guys up in the Bat Crew chat in the Discord and letting you guys know. Thanks for coming on, man. Also, if you guys are having fun with the channel, if you guys enjoy watching, if you enjoy all the stuff that I'm making, think about joining the Bat Crew, man. We get a private Discord. We talk about the fights. We talk about cards. It's a good time. As well, it really does help the channel and helps support me making all this. All right, let's see. We'll probably do one more, and then we'll get back. Let's see. One or two case hits. Any more than that, they get diluted quickly. I completely agree, Roman. I mean, this is, but I guess I'll push back on that with Topps or with Chrome, right? With Topps Chrome, we had a ton of different inserts and different cards that were more than a case hit last year, and I think a lot of them sold well. So I think in this instance, whenever there are multiples like this, you have to have the odds. And I agree. If you don't have the odds, like right now, people are going to say, whoa. You got 3 or 4 different SSPs. I'm just going to pick the one that I know that is the rarest, which is the Twilight, and I'm only going to put my money towards that. I'm not even going to mess around with these other ones, and that is definitely the case here. I mean, definitely not a good look for Midnight as a total, and not a good look for also Sapphire collection. So we got the Infinite here again. Rookie hit. Like, this should be one of the biggest hits of this product. 223. That ain't nothing, and only like 2 of them, 3 of them have sold. So as far as the Talbots, so like insane that we do not have the odds. Can't say it enough. Go hit them up, email them, tell them that you are not happy with that, and maybe they will do something about it, and potentially this doesn't happen anymore at all. All right. Next up, dudes, and then we'll get back to the chat. We got sad news, man. Sad news for Kai Asakura, and I really was excited to watch him fight. He has a fun style. He also is, Japanese. I always enjoy watching Japanese fighters fight, and he got beat up by Tim Elliott, who, Tim Elliott is, he's a vet, right? He's a vet, and he's a tough, gritty fighter. I think he's fun. I kind of enjoy his wild, frenetic style. But he beats Kai Asakura, and as you can see here, man, Kai Asakura, 25 rookie, and he's got some big cards, dude. 1,000 for the 101 super. And now if Kai wins, whoever bought this is dancing on the moon, right? But Kai loses, he's probably out of the top 15 rankings. And this is another cautionary tale of prospecting. We got the 1 of 5 for 350, and I actually think that's a pretty good buy. 350 is a little bit more reasonable. We got the of 2 for 300, but again, man, these favorites, dude, you never know with UFC cards, like how far are some of these cards going to plummet. You just do not know the future, and he gets finished on the ground. So obviously, we know that he has an issue with grappling, and he was doing pretty good. I think he stuffed a few takedowns. They were just boxing exchanges. He actually landed some really good shots too. But dude, once again, Kai Asakura takes the L, and a 2025 Topps rookie takes an L as well. So that doesn't hurt, or it doesn't help the products for the rest of the year. But an interesting fight right there. And we'll talk about MVP, and then we'll get back to the chat. Dude, I wish MVP got into the UFC when he was in his prime. He is 38 years old. MVP is 38 years old. That is crazy, man. He's still very athletic. Now, granted, he was fighting Jared Cannonier, right, who's also ancient, who's also a stud for being that age. But, I just wish we had MVP when he was in his prime. He's still very good. He's still very talented. His elusiveness is insane. His reaction time is insane. He's got the Anderson Silva hands down head movement. His karate style is super fun. He's a striker. He's a counter striker. Everybody loves that. But he's 38 years old. What does he still have left in the tank? Can he beat the top of the heap in this division? I don't think so. Everybody's going to be able to wrestle him. But he does have some nice looking cards, man. And he is a very exciting guy. And as we can tell from the press conferences and from the live event, people love him for good reason. He's a showman. He's loud. He's brash. He dances. He has fun. And his style is exciting as well. I just want to talk about a couple of his big cards before we move on into the event. But this one is really nice, man. We got on-card auto MVP. We got the finest rookies here. And this is going to be the 5 of 10 for 800. And, man, that is a heavy price tag for a guy that probably will never get a title shot and probably will never win a title at all. But I completely understand. Generally, I don't like horizontal cards, but I think this card is pretty sick also. And MVP also has a lot of really good poses on his cards, which I think kind of just goes to show his showmanship, right? He's always doing something interesting. This is a fun one too. And it's a 101 here on the throwback design. But really interesting, man. And MVP, what do people think of him? Are y'all collecting him? Do you enjoy watching him fight? Let's go back to the chat. All right. I personally just like Twilights as far as Midnight Kate's hits go. Albino, I was just saying that, dude. Long term, if you're going to make a long-term play, and I'm risk averse, right? I'm very risk averse on what I collect. I really want, if it's going to be expensive like that is, 300 plus buy-in, it has to be something that I think is going to be collectible long-term and stand the test of time. I completely think these Twilights from any year, 24, 25, are going to be collectible long-term. And if I was a guy that wanted to get a Twilight card in my collection and wanted to get a Midnight card, I think it would be that one, man. And I would probably go debut year, right? Depending on if they have your fighter with 24 and 25, obviously the debut year is probably going to command the premium. We see that with Kabooms as well. But yeah, dude, it's a simple card, but I think it's pretty elegant, and it's going to display well because it's vertical. It's also kind of ominous or eerie, right, with the shading. So I think it kind of works well with the UFC and with the fighters also. Hey, Vince. Vince is a member of the Bat Crew. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that so much. It really does help support the channel. Helps kind of give me life and creativity and energy to create all this, because I am working my tail off over here, dude, trying to write all this stuff and get these video out. So I appreciate that so much, Vince. Down with that. Spinning elbows are the new calf kicks. Bro, Bro, I'm glad you brought this up down with that because we are going to watch one right now. Let's watch this together, boys. What a beautiful technique, man. What a beautiful, beautiful technique. Let's look at this.
Oh, lead elbow.
Bang! At the buzzer.
Oh, lead elbow.
At the buzzer, dude. Insane. Also, should Herzog have called that? Like, it was after the bell. I don't technically know the rulings on that, but like after the bell, are you not allowed to give somebody the time to get up and go back to the stool? The bell had rung, and Herzog then comes over and calls it. Now, granted, Jeff Neal was done, right? He was absolutely out, and it was a pretty exciting fight up until that point. Shout out to Jeff Neal. He's always a guy that I like to watch in there. He goes out, he fights hard. Carlos Protes. Carlos Protes is that guy, man. He is that guy. We saw a tough, gritty fight against Ian Gary, right? He kind of got worked the first 3.5 rounds. We see Prates come out here today. He looks sharp. He looks aggressive. He's really owning his space in the cage. He's throwing good techniques. And to finish it like that at the buzzer beater, this guy's got aura, man. As the kids say, right? This guy's got aura. He's smoking a cigarette in the post-fight press conference. This guy's a superstar, man. He's a superstar. And at this point, he's going to be high in the rankings, and he is definitely a guy not to be messed with. He has 5-round cardio as well, despite smoking 8 cigarettes a day, he says, which is hilarious. But the spinning elbow, Carlos Protes buzzer beater was insane. And are his card prices going to jump? If y'all saw the thumbnail, you know, I had Prates and Murphy up there. Probably the 2 biggest winners from this event, in my opinion. Will Carlos Protes cards skyrocket because of that? And my answer, as we take a look at some of this data, I think they are going to increase, dude. I think they are going to increase. And we see his biggest sale, and this is of last night, so we could have had some late at the buzzer. I would refresh it, but I don't want my computer to absolutely crash because I'm on my old slow computer. $750 for an of 5, and it's going to be the Frozen Fractor, which TBD on how people view these. I have seen some big sales of these. This is the debut design of the Frozen Fractor. Will that have long-term collectability with people in the UFC space? I think it definitely could. And I do like the design of the Frozen Fractor. So I am interested to see how this ages within this 2025 year. Right now, I think it's pretty popular and people are liking it. But because of all the parallel designs, we have a ton of 5s, and that does really inflate the print run. But again, we have this for $750. Nice shot of Li Jingliang and getting freaking kicked right in the face, dude. Getting kicked in the face with the sonic boom. We got not a lot of big sales from him though, man. Like look at this one. This is a 2-2 for $480. That's pretty reasonable right there. We got another one. We got a first auto here of 10. Really clean card, vertical image. I think that's a nice card, nice buy at $400. What are our thoughts on Carlos Protes, guys? What are our thoughts in the chat? Do we think he's the next big thing? Do we think we see a bump in his card pricing? Because honestly, while his pricing is not low, it's not that high either. And I think this is something that I speculated on early on with this 2025 class. I think we have so many people that could potentially pop in this 2025 class that a lot of this money is getting diluted because there's so many of them, right? Like if Prates was in last year's class, I think we see him selling, you know, close to Diego Lopez type prices, like thousands and thousands for these type of cards. And he's like half of that, if not less than half of that right now. And I think it's because there's so many different people in this rookie class that could potentially pop and that are stars that the demand right now is not necessarily there because that money's getting diluted over multiple people. So definitely interesting phenomenon there. And I'm curious to see kind of what y'all think about Carlos Protes after that insane spinning, just knocking stuff off the spinning back elbow, dude. All right, back to the chat. Let's talk with you guys for a minute. Winston Rips, MVP came with the confidence. MVP is like my spirit animal, dude. I wish I had half the confidence that guy does. At the weigh-in, Cannonier looked shook, man. He looked shook. He was just glaring him right in the eye. Cannonier was kind of looking down, looking around. MVP has all the confidence, has all the swagger, knows how to put on a show. And put it on a show in the cage as well. Like a really, really good fight, man. Down with that. I guess we're talking about MVP. I will say I did prefer he had more offensive strikes this time instead of defensive run strike. Yeah, he's a counter striker, right? So he wants to lure you in and then jump like a snake, like his snake, and then smack you around. Let's see. We got, ooh, Magenta. What's up, dude? MVP versus Izzy. That's actually a really, really fun matchup. That is one I would like to see. Dana, I hope you're watching, man. The people know what they want, and they know good matchups, and that actually is a very fun matchup. That would also give MVP, kind of a boost in the rankings and another really big name recognition, as well as I think Izzy would like that matchup because it is a striker versus striker matchup, which obviously he's going to enjoy. And also it's just a fun matchup. Now, would MVP want that as far as like title contention? Does that really bolster him and push up his case for a title? I don't know about that, but I do think that MVP versus Izzy would be absolutely insane as far as stylistically and just eye appeal as a fight. I think that would be really fun. All right, T Craig 808, thank you. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you guys watching. If you're watching and you haven't yet, hit the like button. We're gonna try and get 35 today. We're at 19. Oof, we're at 19, so it's going to be a struggle, but maybe we could get there, and appreciate everybody who's out there watching. Let's see. Let's get one more, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Rewind. I'm not sure how much longer MVP will fight. He has 2 movie projects coming up. One he's directing. Okay, that's really interesting. I'll have to look that up. That is a fun storyline that I definitely did not know about. He is very charismatic. I could see him totally being in some type of Hollywood gig, whether it be, acting or trying to do anything like that. I think he has the personality for it, and definitely, not surprised that he's doing something where he can put his personality on display, because not only can you tell it with his fighting style, but you can also tell it, when he does interviews and stuff. McXercy, what's up, dude? Incredible fight night, man. Very, very fun. I had a good time watching it, even though it kind of peaked and then the main event kind of brought it back down a little bit, but it was still really, really fun, man, and a good time. All right, next up, boys, and get ready because it's another video. We'll see if my old MacBook can survive this.
Murphy keeping that guard high, staying composed in the face of pressure.
Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my. Look at the head bounce off the canvas. Oof, man, that hurts. That hurts. Aaron Pico. I was excited for Aaron Pico's debut, man. I was really excited. I've kind of been not necessarily watching him, but I've been following him for a long time. A lot of his body shot knockouts in Bellator I've been watching, and I've been excited about, his boxing, his accolades. He's a wrestler. He's well-rounded. He's young. I was like, yes, Aaron Pico. He's finally finally going to get it, man. He gets his shot at the UFC. And I was like, he gets it at a guy that's, basically this is a title eliminator. This is for a title contention. If he wins this, could Pico get the freaking shot at the belt finally? And that happens to him. He gets absolutely murdered by the spinning elbow after what was a really good start to the round. I was like, dude, Pico looks like he belongs in here. He gets absolutely starched. If this was a video game and this is like a RPG, -50 on the chin, man. -50 on the chin. I don't know if he'll ever be the same after that. And it's sad to say because he's 28. He's still pretty young, but he's got a lot of miles on him. He's been KO'd many times. And to get KO'd and flatlined like that by Lerone Murphy, dude, that hurts. How is this going to affect Lerone Murphy's pricing, man? How is it going to affect his card pricing? Because right now, Lerone Murphy is very slept on, if you will. I have not seen anybody really collecting him. And I would think that this title shot vaults him up super high, man. Vaults him up super high into contention. And I think he might be up there, for it. And Volk called him out. So he's definitely going to be getting it soon. Super chat. So much so. Super chat. Dude, you're insane. Thank you so much. I didn't even know you could do this until like maybe 2 months ago. Jay Peach, shout out to Jay Peach, back crew member. He gave me a super chat. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the love. Also, if you haven't hit the like button, we're trying to get to 35. We are stuck at 19, dude. We are stuck at 19. Can we get off 19? I don't know, but we're gonna keep moving and we're gonna keep talking about Lerone Murphy. And look at this, dude. Look at this. We've got a 1/1 Superfractor from 25 Chrome. Absolutely beautiful card. $800. Somebody knew it. Somebody knew Lerone Murphy was going to get the dub. This is what, a week ago. He's like, I'm buying it, man. And he did it. And right now that looks like a good bet. We got the 20, and this is a 101 rookie for 710. And this is a good looking card too, but not a good picture though. Whoever took this picture, this card would have sold for more if you took a better picture, I bet. But a nice card there. We got another just 101 selling for 500. Like, these are good buys. These are good buys. And this is the type of guy where when it comes to prospecting, right? This is the type of guy where I think it makes sense. Lerone Murphy coming into this fight, long win streak, right? Long win streak. He is set to potentially fight Volk if he wins this. And you're talking about you could take a flyer on one of his best cards for this. Just sold a rookie gold shimmer of 5 for 300, and this was a little while ago, but we're talking like 5 months. Like, bro, like, this is the type of prospecting that to me makes sense, and that hopefully you guys are kind of following that type of rule where you're not buying in thousands and thousands of dollars for people that potentially have to win in order to do it, because it is a gamble, right? But do we see Lerone Murphy's cards skyrocket? Like, I can't see a world where his cards don't increase. When you're talking about $800 for a super, when you're talking about $300-$400 for like of 5 and below rookies for 1 of 1s after a performance like that. But I will say, not to rain on the parade here, but let's look at Lerone Murphy's track record. He's got a couple finishes, right? But for the last 4 years, he's had 1, 2, 3. He's had 3 finishes and a whole lot of unanimous decisions. And I don't say that personally as a negative, but collectors like finishes, fight fans like finishes. He is super technical, right? And honestly, this Volk matchup is one that I am interested in because Volk is very technical as well. Now, Pico was able to wrestle him and kind of able to manhandle him a little bit. Volk is incredibly strong. He is incredibly stout. Will he be able to do that to Lerone Murphy? Who knows? But I think that his card prices are going to see a definite boost and, have been very low for quite some time. All right, let's get back to the chat. Your boy's working. I need a drink. MX Urzi. I was rooting for Pico. Me too, man. I don't have anything against Murphy. I like Murphy too. But I just really like the story of Aaron Pico being in Bellator for so long, grinding for so long, finally getting the shot. And basically, he would have fought Volk if he won, especially if he got a finish, to look good and then, have it ended like that. Man, should we watch it one more time? Should we watch it one more time? Let's watch it one more time because that was absolutely insane, this finish. 2 more times. Pico, no! No, Pico. Oof, jeez, man. That was brutal. But yeah, I'll have to say I was going for Aaron Pico as well. You doing any opening / breaks? I've been slacking myself. Life has been so busy. Next opening I'll be doing is going to be the whatever release comes out next. So probably Stadium Club. But we don't know what's next. So who knows? Could be Finest. I think it's going to be Stadium Club though. From all the leaks that we've seen, I've definitely seen way more leaks of Stadium Club than I have of Finest. So that would what I think is going to be the next product and probably what I break next. Vince, I was going to talk about this. I had a Pico Goodwin Champions rookie mem card that turned to dust with that KO. I had that card pulled up on Card Ladder, and when I was writing my notes, I was like, oh, this will be a fun topic. Like, Pico's had cards since I think it was 2018, right? I was like, this is going to be a fun topic. People can go out, get this card, potentially kind of a sleeper card. On-card auto looked pretty good. Nope. After that spinning elbow, nope, I cannot talk about that card anymore. And sadly, man, I don't know if Pico's ever going to be the same after that, but definitely an interesting fight and an interesting, scenario where if Pico does win, maybe something crazy happens. Maybe he's, fighting Volk, and then it's a totally, totally different storyline, dude. Just like that, man. Just like that, the storyline turns in the UFC world. If you're watching and you haven't yet, hit that like button. We're at 22. Can we get to 35? Let's see what else we got. Hype MMA. What's up, dude? I don't recognize that. 20 likes, dude. We're moving up. One at a time. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Big Nookie. What's up, dude? We got Big Nookie Volk versus Lerone in December. That's going to be fun, man. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a much more tactical fight than we saw with Pico. Pico kind of went in there with reckless abandon, and props to him, man. He is a fun fighter. He's a killer, be killed guy. He's got absolute hammers too. Like, he stung Murphy multiple times. Lerone looked a little wobbled, but he held his composure well and was able to obviously come back. But dude, animal, man. What a vicious finish. Let's see. Down with that. Volk ain't running in so fast to that elbow. Hopefully, fingers crossed emoji. Yeah, dude. That would put you on notice if you're an opponent, right? Like, to know that something of that caliber, of that power could come back at you is definitely going to have Volk with his guard up and with his hands up. And he's a tactical guy, right? So I don't see him rushing in. We haven't seen him really get blasted too hard, except for kind of the Islam kick. But generally, and obviously the Ilya bomb, but Ilya's got nukes in his hands. I don't necessarily think Lerone Murphy has that kind of power, nor does maybe anyone in any of those divisions have the power like Ilya Topuria. Let's see. MX Zerzy. Do you know when we can pre-order Stadium Club? I do not know, man. Last that I have looked, it does not have a pre-order date. It is just the notify me indicator on tops. Whenever that comes out, I will probably do a video on it and, talk about a few things Stadium Club related. So I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop on that. And last up, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, and then we'll hit the chat and then maybe call it for the day. We'll see. All right. So if you guys watched my 2025 Tops Sapphire Edition rip, I got a Kayla Harrison redemption. And it already came, dude. It came that fast. That's what she said. This was like, I want to say this happened 2 or 3 weeks, maybe we'll say a month. It was probably a month max that I got the redemption. I immediately filled it out, turned it in. So it took probably 3 weeks for them to get the order and send it to me, which is awesome, man. Very, very fast. So I will say that I did one redemption with Panini, and it took forever. It was a Derek Lewis Prism redemption. It took absolutely forever to get back. I want to say like 6+ months. So at least props to Kayla Harrison, props to Tops for getting that back to me quick. I was nervous about it because Kayla Harrison's got a huge fight with Amanda Nunes coming up. I don't know if I want to keep this long term. If she wins, it may be a long-term keep because I think that's a huge legacy fight for her and just a huge legacy fight for women's MMA in general. And if she can beat Nunes, I think she could, stack together with 1 or 2 more wins before she retires. And then she really has a nice resume to go off of. But I sent this in looking to potentially get it back and then have it up to on eBay for the Nunes fight. And it came in, so I am hyped about that. On-card auto looks really clean. And look at these pipes, dude. Look at these guns. I need to get in the gym a little more, man. I need to get delts like Kayla Harrison, dude. Those delts are just popping. And she is a force to be reckoned with. And I'm excited to see her versus Nunes. As of right now, what are we thinking, people watching? What are we thinking? Do we think Harrison takes Nunes down and submits her? Do we think she grounds and pounds her? Do we think Nunes boxes her face off? Like, personally, I kind of think Nunes is going to hurt her standing up. But we've seen Nunes get taken down. We've seen her get submitted before, Juliana Pena style. Has the time off helped Nunes? Has the time off hurt Nunes? A lot of questions with this one, man. A lot of questions. And some great storylines, too. We got great storylines either way. We got Kayla Harrison beats Amanda Nunes. If that storyline happens, Harrison automatically vaults up to like an all-time great women's MMA fighter, especially if she can get 1 or 2 more title wins. If Nunes beats Harrison, the legend of Nunes grows even that much more, and I'm excited to see Nunes back in there. This is a super shallow division, right? There's not a lot of women in this division that can really get eyeballs and that are honestly just are fun to watch. So I'm excited that we get these two going at it soon, and hopefully they can make it to the fight safe and, they can have a fun, entertaining fight. Let's see. What do we got? Jimmy R115. I pulled an Up8 Peyton Black and Gold from a mega box. Really been struggling to find a value, and I saw the ETA for Up5. PSA or CGC, but nothing on mine. I'm guessing you're asking a question about how to find comps on that card. Man, if you found something close, I would kind of use that as a reference point, right? And then you can price it accordingly based upon what data you found. Especially with newer products, almost always you're not going to find an exact one-to-one, for that specific card. But if you can, find something close in the ballpark range, then you can adjust your pricing, based upon that. If it's CGC or a lesser grading company and yours is PSA or whatever, then maybe I can price it a little more. If yours is CGC and the one on PSA, has a 10 and yours has a 9, you can price it, a little less. So just use that as a data point to go off of a little bit, and then obviously check back to see if you can find any in the weeks to come. Albino Harrison uses grappling to beat Nunes, I think. Dude, that's the storyline, right? Like, I love these type of fights, man. I love these type of fights because it's so easy to see the path to victory most of the time with these stories. It's like Kayla Harrison is a monster. She's huge. We've seen Nunes get taken down and submitted before. Can Harrison get a hold of her, use that judo, use those action figure arms, use these action figure arms to just choke the life out of her? Like, we will see. But then on the other side, it's like, is it just going to be a Ronda Rousey situation where Nunes only needs one punch to really rattle you, and once you get rattled, everybody turns into a white belt, right? So a very interesting fight, and I'm excited for that. Let's see. Wow. Okay, we got a lot of... This may be unanimous. Kayla beats Nunes on the ground. Let's see what else we got in the chat. That's AJ. We got MX Jersey. Kayla going to crush her. Dang, dude. And we got Vince fighting back. You may be confused. Amanda will walk her down. Right now, that's kind of where my mind is. For some reason, I think Amanda is going to clip her. I think she's going to hurt her. I think Harrison is going to have a tough time bullying Amanda Nunes against the cage, because Nunes is a monster in her own right? Now, she's not as like bodybuilder-ish as Kayla Harrison, but she is incredibly strong, and she is very big for the weight class too. AJ, Nunes beats Harrison. Quote forever. Quote. 5 McCory. What's up, dude? I haven't seen you in the chat today. Amanda's prices are criminally low. Dude, I got a nuke. I got an Amanda Nunes nuke, and that was last night I got it, man. Last night I bought an Amanda Nunes nuke, and I want to make a video about it when I get it. I'm very excited. It's a huge card. It's going to be in my display probably forever, but I agree. And when I was looking at prices and looking at these cards, I was like, bro, I don't know if this is ever going to get any lower. She's the GOAT, as somebody in the chat said recently. These prices of her cards should be much higher, in my opinion. They should be much, much higher. And when I saw this card go up, I was like, man, I need to just pull the trigger. I had the funds. Been making a bunch of sales. I've been saving up. And this was one of the cards that I've been saving up for. So when I saw it, thought about it long and hard, dude. Thought about it long and hard, and I pulled the trigger. But I agree. Amanda Nunes cards, criminally low. That's why I had to get a nuke of hers. If you're watching this, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, dude. Trying to get to 35. We're at 25. We are slowly chipping away, man. One insignificant strike at a time, just like Khamzat Chimaev last night. One insignificant strike at a time on that like button. Let's see, AJ, finding of 10 and then finding of 5 and dabble in the middle. Yep, if you're talking about the Peyton comps, always a good way to do it. Get as much data as you can and then make a educated decision off that. Let's see. Ooh, I liked it. Zach P. I love this. Remember what Larissa Pacheco did to Kayla? And that was at 155 without the brutal weight cut she makes these days. Oh, I love that, man. Because I forgot about that Larissa Pacheco fight. That is going to be one that I rewatched before Nunes and Harrison. And that is the archetype, right? Larissa Pacheco, huge, strong, can box. Harrison got beat up, dude. Harrison got beat up. Now, granted, that was a while ago, and to be fair, Harrison hadn't necessarily been fighting great opponents in the PFL. I think she was a champion 2 years in a row. So definitely could have been like some fatigue in the sense that like I'm kind of champ fatigue at the top, right? Like I'm beating everybody. I don't need to train that hard. So, but like you're saying, that is what could happen, and we've seen it happen before. So very excited about that fight, dude. And I'm surprised of how close we are in the chat. A lot of people are saying, Harrison's going to take it, which when I first saw this matchup, happen in the cage after Harrison won, I was like, general consensus is probably going to be that Nunes is going to beat her. But Doesn't seem to be that way, at least in the chat. And I'm really excited to see what the MMA fans say and what they think long term about who takes this. Let's see. Ooh, Zach P. Hey, nice first name, by the way, Zach. Nice first name. Amanda Nunes Liquid Gold from Royalty was hit last night. Talking about inserts that could potentially stand the test of time, I love the liquid silver and liquid golds of the 2024. And maybe I should make a video about this. Who wins my favorite designs of 2024? The liquid silver and liquid gold has to be near the very, 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 very top for me. It is such a shiny card. It is so beautiful, and I love the images they put on there. I love the design. That is one that I would be super hyped to have. And also, I think it's one that is probably going to stand the test of time based solely on the rarity and based solely on how beautiful it is. I think cards like that are just magnificently designed and shiny, I think you're not going to ever have a problem getting rid of that if you have, a GOAT or a Hall of Famer or somebody very popular on the front of that card. Let's see. Vince, I have the Amanda Helix. Let's make a trade. Vince, I got my Nunes nuke, bro. I'm good right now. Also, the Helix, we don't know the odds, man. We talked about this earlier with the Midnight and the Sapphire collection or Sapphire edition. We don't have the odds on this, man, and it's crazy. How rare is that card? I know that must hurt for you as a guy trying to move it. Like, I bet that's very, very hard to price as well. We don't know how rare it is, dude. It's insane that we still don't know. Again, if you haven't, go email Topps. Tell them we need the odds. Tell them we need the odds, and they have to give us that with future products on time. Let's see. Pacheco just got whooped by Cyborg, though. There's levels. MMA math is crazy. AJ, you're right, dude. You are absolutely correct. Styles make fights. Also, the mindset of the fighter on the night of that fight make fights. You could have somebody that's better than the other person, and they lose, right? Like, it's a crazy, crazy sport. This is not like NBA basketball where this is game, you have 7 games to prove you're the better team. Almost always the better team wins in basketball. It's at least a very good, optic on who is the better team. This is fighting, dude. Sometimes the person that's not as good wins the fight. It's absolutely insane. It is insane. Let's see. We got Magenta Nunes by TKO round 2. That's where my mind's at, man. And now this is also an opinion, right? Because I love Amanda Nunes. She's been one of the most entertaining women's fighters since I've been watching MMA. Probably the most entertaining women's fighter of all time. But I will say, Zhang Weili's right up there after that crazy Suarez beatdown. But yeah, man, I can't root against Nunes. But I am very excited. And I do like Kayla Harrison too, which is why I'm so excited for this fight. I think we have 2 really compelling, fun champs that are going to get after it, dude. And I'm hyped. Ooh, we got a good question here. Liquid silver, sapphire selections, kaboom. What else will stand the test of time, insert-wise? Man, and this is the $1 million question, right? Because if we knew this, we'd be loading up on it, and we're going to make a lot of money because there are going to be inserts that stand head and shoulders above other cards. And there are going to be inserts that have a way bigger pop that sell higher than cards that have a way lower pop. Like, that's just how it is. That's the fun of inserts and collecting. We don't know. We just got to make an educated guess. We got to look at the card. We got to, see what comps are selling for, see if the demand's there, and then make a guess and get one, dude. But the ones you listed right there are all pretty solid in my opinion. Let's see, 29 likes. Yes, sir. Get up there, guys. Get that like button up there. We're almost at 35. We'll talk with the chat a little bit more, and then I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday or Monday, I guess, if it's, overseas. Who knows where you guys are at, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Yes. Down with that. Izzy versus Strickland. Who would have thought on that one? Completely agree, man. Styles make fights, and who knows what can happen. Also, who knows if the better guy is going to win? Like, Strickland has that style. He's just annoyed the hell out of Izzy that night. Is he a better fighter? He was on that night, right? He was on that night. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. But we never know. The odds don't even tell the tale most of the time as well. All right, and we got fun video, dude. Dopest inserts that will stand the test of time. I like it, man. I like it. I appreciate you guys when you guys give me video ideas, and that is a good one, and that would be very fun to create. We could look at some sick designs. We could talk about pricing over time. We could speculate on maybe what is an insert that's slept on right now that could be insane. I love to do videos like that, talking about speculation. Great idea right there, AJ. And thanks everybody for watching today, man. I enjoy doing these lives. I specifically enjoy doing these lives after the fight. I think that's a lot more fun than before the fight, just because we have all the fresh storylines, all the new matchups, and all the fun that we could potentially talk about. Before we get off talking about matchups, that made me think about this. And let me pull this up and let me delete the 1,000 different tabs that are open. Shout out to my MacBook, dude. If you're watching this video and you haven't, hit that like button for my MacBook for not getting fried on this episode, because I've been putting it through I had 1 million tabs open. All right. So we know, right? We know Khamzat is in champ status now. We've got Imavov and we've got Kaio fighting. That's going to have huge ramifications. I think whoever wins that, is definitely going to have a very, very, very good shot at maybe fighting for the title. We got Strickland at 2, man. We know there's bad blood between Sean Strickland and Khamzat Chimaev. We know they've trained together. We've got Strickland coming out and tweeting like, I can beat this dude. I did it all the time in practice, grappling and wrestling. Like, I can beat this dude. I think that'd be a fun one for the presser. That'd be a fun one in the cage as well. There's kind of some history there. We got RDR with a big win. We got Fluffy Hernandez, who vaulted up the ranking after that dominant performance over Dolidze. Before we sign off, I want to hear from you guys. Who do you want to see fight Khamzat Chimaev next? Who is the name on this list? And we have like 5 guys. Middleweight is so back, baby. Middleweight is so back. We've got so many people that could potentially make sense in a title shot. Who do you guys want to see fight Khamzat Chimaev in the champion? Before I go look at what y'all are saying, let me see. What do I think? Man, off the top of my head, I think you do Sean Strickland, honestly. We've got Imavov and Kaio fighting already. We've got Fluffy waiting in the midst. And we got RDR, who had a big win, but I feel like maybe we make him wait a little bit. I feel like maybe we put RDR on the sideline. We put Fluffy on the sideline. We see what happens with Imavov and Kaio in a little bit, and maybe we book Strickland, or do we just wait? Actually, maybe we wait for Kaio and Imavov and then make a decision. That's probably the best. We'd have the most variables to go with from that. All right, let's go to the chat and see what you guys are thinking. Oh, yeah, the likes are flying up, dude. We're almost at 35. Can we get there? Phantom Renegade, what's up, dude? Could Fluffy become a new Air Diaz? I feel like this dude has star potential if he could keep the wins rolling and is exciting with the cardio style. I love Fluffy Hernandez, dude. He's got that dog in him, man. He's got that dog in him. He is not going to quit. And one of the things I like about him the most is he is always looking to do damage. He is nasty in the cage, man. If you go back to his fights, like, he is trying to drown you. He is trying to melt you. And when he feels like you're fading, he is going to attack that much harder. To me, that style is very exciting. And he does it not with like a lot of just control, but he does it with a ton of striking. He'll rush in, he'll blitz you. He throws the jab step like 1-2, the walking 1-2 as he's rushing in. He jumps in on takedowns. He suffocates. He submissions. He subs people. Like, dude, I just love everything about him. My only thought with him is like, I think he's too small for this weight class. I'm not sure what's going on with his like strength and conditioning. I mean, Fluffy's his name, right? But like, if you dropped a little bit of body fat and he added like 3-4 pounds of muscle, which I think he could probably do, just kind of looking at his physique, how much better is this guy going to be? Or is that going to mess with the secret weapon, and he's already is on that secret juice, and maybe you don't want to mess with that. But he's definitely a guy where I think he might be a little bit small for this weight class, but I love his fight style, man. And I really hope he does if he doesn't get a title shot, I hope he gets a super high ranking opponent where he can build his name even more on that. Oh, we got more Fluffy talk. Has the gas tank of grappling to challenge Khamzat? Dude, that would be so fun. That would be because those guys are just going to go crazy in there, I think. And one thing about Khamzat, which he did pretty well in this, but also I don't think Drick has tested his cardio enough. he was giving up that position on the cage, knees down for like the first 2 rounds. I was like, what is this guy doing? Like, why is he not trying to stand up? And maybe he was himself conserving his cardio, but like, to me, you got to try and make as many scrambles as possible if you're trying to like gas Khamzat out. And Fluffy Hernandez would 100% just go crazy with the scrambles, I think, like the entire time. That'd be a super fun fight, man. Ooh, Rewind. Rewind is calling the shot. It will be Day Reader. It will be RDR. Dude, him versus Khamzat would be insane. He's absolutely massive. He's real deal 6'4". He's real deal probably 200 plus, I would imagine. The dude is a freak. He's huge. Very unorthodox. We know he throws nasty knees, which is a great technique if you're trying to, keep somebody from shooting in. Good in the clinch. Not the most polished striker, but like when he throws, he does have power. He hurt Whitaker multiple times. Has a good jab. I think that'd be a fun one as well, man. And really, any of these matchups I'm hyped about and excited about, and I want to see going forward, dude. I want to see it. Down with that, says RDR as well. Zach P says Strickland. I mean, there's just a lot of Objecto MVP versus Khamzat. No, Objecto Buzz. No. We don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. That would be an easy first round victory for Khamzat. Talk about like polar opposite styles. That would be hilarious. What the Kevin Holland fight? That's what it's gonna be, but like multiplied by 2. Vince with the Khamzat versus a plastic surgeon. Dang, dude, you're gonna talk about him like that? He's gonna come find you. He's gonna do one of those, weird. He's gonna do one of those silly faces to you in the hallway at your house. You better watch out. We got a lot of RDR. T. Craig, RDR. What's up, dude? Phantom. RDR over Strickland. Albino. This is an interesting one. We got RDR versus Fluffy for the title eliminator. That would be a fun fight, dude. Talk about chaos. I think that would be pretty chaotic as well. I kind of think both of these guys are in that spot where they kind of need another title shot or another win to get a title shot. I think the 2 people that wouldn't need to, Sean Strickland. I think he could probably get it based on buzz, based on popularity, based on history. I think the storyline's there. They've given him title shots in the past when maybe he didn't necessarily wasn't the best guy for it. Also, the winner of Kaio and Imavov, you one of those guys beats each other. I feel like you can obviously vie for a title shot, and that would make sense. But if you're talking about RDR, if you're talking about Fluffy Hernandez, dude, I just feel like, what are they, 7-6 in the rankings? Like that's still pretty low. I think it's going to be tough. While I would love to see it, I personally don't think either of those guys is going to get the title shot against Khamzat. What's up, dude? So Eric Trevino, what up, my man? What do you think about the Noche card? A lot of people are talking bad about it, but I think it's got sleeper potential. I agree, man. Let's look at it. I haven't looked at it in a little bit. Let's see what they added to it. We'll see. I know we got, Gian Silva is fighting on it, right? And that is going to be absolutely bonkers. Let's check it here. So we got Gian Silva versus Diego Lopez. That alone is going to really, help bolster this card. Gordon and Rafa Garcia, not blowing my doors off with that. Todorovic and Medina, not blowing my doors off with that. Silva, Puelles, Reese, Dumas. Reese has been exciting, so I'm excited about that. Check him out. Also, he doesn't have any UFC cards yet, so I think that could be interesting. And Dumas we'll see if he gets arrested or not. Suarez Lemos will be a good fight. Man, still not much on here, but you got Gian Silva versus Diego Lopez. I think that is going to really do a lot of the heavy lifting, and people will be excited about that. Personally, I'm gonna be excited about that too for potential 2025 UFC card ramifications. I think we could have, a lot of big buzz if he wins, and a lot of big sales as well. Strickland in Abu Dhabi. Dana won't allow. We'll have to wait until back in the States. Yeah, man, we'll see. Strickland is wild, dude. Sean Strickland is absolutely wild. Speaking of secret juice, Tim Elliott on the pre-workout. Bro, he was tweaking in there, man. Tim Elliott was tweaking. It reminded me a lot of Dom Cruz, like his crazy footwork drills. I don't know if they trained together, but it definitely looked like they trained together because they were doing a lot of that little like dancing footwork drill, which was pretty hilarious, dude. Pretty hilarious indeed. Tim Elliott popping for that pre. 5 McCory. Khamzat is not nearly as good as he looked. DDP is just that bad. I mean, there definitely could be some of that. I mean, when it got to the feet at the 2 minutes that it was at the feet the entire fight, DDP looked like he was the better man in the striking and looked like Khamzat definitely didn't want to be there with him. But dude just got ragdolled all over the place. DDP is a hoss. I mean, Khamzat was riding him like a bull, but couldn't get it done, man. Couldn't get it done. Patricia Leanne Shaw, Khamzat versus Chama 205. Ooh, that's an interesting fight. I actually had that same thought. I was like, what if Poatan beats Ankalaev at 205? Would they push Khamzat up to 205? Like, I could potentially see them doing that. We've got an aging Poatan. Probably not going to be in the UFC much longer if we're being realistic. I mean, he's dang near 40 at this point. We've got a hot off the press Khamzat with a pretty lackluster performance against DDP. Very, ton of control. Good IQ win, but not necessarily super exciting. Do they push the 205 matchup and try and double champ him quickly with a fight that could be very winnable, you would think, on the ground submission-wise for Khamzat? That would be fun and interesting. But thank you guys so much for watching. We got 30 likes. That's pretty solid. Not 35, but it's pretty close, so I appreciate you guys for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hit that like button if you haven't. And if you're enjoying this and you want to support, please join the Bat Crew. Shout out to Vince. Thank you for joining, man. That really helps so much. Helps me stay motivated. Puts a little bit of money in my pocket so I can tell my wife, look, all that time I'm spending on videos, people are paying, and this is, hopefully some type of a job that I can have in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.